As part of the EU project P2 Green, Sanitation 360 proudly presents P the Solution. What is this yellow fluid creating lots of foam, you may ask yourself? Well, this is actually human urine, and at Sanitation 360, we don't view urine as a waste, but as a resource that can be recycled into a nutrient-rich, safe, and circular fertilizer for agriculture. Thanks to its dry form, the fertilizer can be used by farmers to grow all types of crops. And this creates a circular nutrient cycle where the nutrients we already have in society are recycled and returned to the ground for food production. Sanitation 360 has developed a technology that stabilizes, dries, and granulates human urine into a dry fertilizer that contributes to local and resilient food production. Our most recent innovation is the Kissoar, a unisex urinal that captures urine so that it can be recycled into a fertilizer. But how does it work? And why did we create it? And where does the name come from? The name is derived from the Swedish word for a blue porta potty, which in Swedish is called a bajamaja, translating to poo followed by the name Maja. So instead, we're calling these pee-majas, as they're only for peeing, which in Swedish translates to Kissoar, leaving us with our gorgeous yellow Kissoars, which have now been tested and appreciated at multiple events across Sweden. The unisex Kissoars are needed because every year millions and millions of people gather at festivals, concerts, and sporting events to create unforgettable experiences. But behind the scenes, these events put an enormous strain on our sanitation systems. Wastewater treatment plants are designed to handle typical daily flows, but during big events, the volume of sewage spikes dramatically. Biological treatment processes are very sensitive, and when they're overwhelmed, untreated wastewater is often released into rivers, lakes, and oceans, posing risks to the environment and public health. Think of the wastewater treatment plant like a glass. When the flow is normal, the glass can hold it all. But when too much sewage comes in, the glass overflows. And that overflow, full of nitrogen, goes straight into our rivers and lakes. When too much nitrogen reaches our water bodies, it fuels a chain reaction. Plants and algae grow out of control, blocking sunlight, lowering oxygen, and making it harder for fish and other aquatic life to survive. It also means we can't swim, as it can cause harm to our health. This is called eutrophication. So how do we stop the glass from overflowing? Well, there's an easy solution. At large events, unisex urinals like the Kissoars and also urine diverting toilets can collect most of the nitrogen before it ever reaches the treatment plant, as most of the nitrogen exists in our urine. This way, we reduce nutrient pollution by offloading the wastewater systems, helping cities avoid costly upgrades, whilst also creating a local and circular fertilizer for food production. It's a win-win, and it helps restore healthy waters for swimming and recreational purposes as well. Before the festival begins, each Kissoar or urinal is dosed with our chemical stabilizer that prevents ammonia from forming, thereby reducing the smell and keeping all the nitrogen in liquid form so it can be recycled later on. And finally, let us show you how to use one of our Kissoars.
Welcome to our Kissoars, the unisex urinals that lets everyone contribute to a more circular system within the sanitation sector. Let's go inside and see how they work. As a man, it's pretty simple. You face forward and do your business as per usual. For women, there's two handles here for you to grab on to, and then there's two steps below, and then you pull down your pants and underwear or hike up your skirt and then hover over. And then for kids who are shorter, they can also step up to here and hover over like this. And this way, everyone can contribute to a more sustainable society.
When the Kissoars fill up during a festival, they're safely emptied, either by hand pumping or with a vacuum pump, and the urine is then taken to our facilities for drying and granulating. The mesh grid covering the urinal is designed to keep toilet paper, feces, and other things like beer cans, bottles, and chewing tobacco out of the urine to ensure that it's as clean as possible so that it can be dried and granulated into a safe fertilizer. Instead, you throw all the toilet paper in the bin to the side. Festival goers have called them the cleanest toilets they've ever used, with far less smell. Women and non-binary visitors are also thrilled to finally have a urinal option, avoiding long queues and making the experience smoother for everyone. Already deployed at major events across Sweden, Kissoars have proven that sustainable sanitation is both fun, practical, and scalable. As more organizers adopt these units, we can protect our water bodies, support circular agriculture, and make large gatherings more environmentally responsible. Kissoars are rethinking sanitation, protecting our environment, and closing the nutrient loop, one festival at a time. Please help us in transforming our linear society to a circular one urination at a time. Learn more at sanitation360.se and join us in creating a more sustainable and fair future. Thank you.
And this is how we use it. Oh, not this one.
Oh.